I mean, one would have to be out of his mind to think, you know, so small. That's very small thinking. But anyway, let's go a little further here. Verse 5 says, for thy maker is thy husband, the Lord of hosts is his name, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. The God of the whole world shall he be called. Yeah. They all gonna know that the Most High is the one that is ruling everything. Not that he is their God. No. No, he is only the God of Israel. But he's gonna let everybody gonna know that he is the one that's ruling this planet. Not no devil, not Lucifer, not any of those entities that you have been told and taught. Now let's go a little further here. We're going to go on down to, let us look at verse 6. He says, for the Lord has called thee as a woman forsaken and grieving in spirit, and a wife of youth when thou was refused, saith thy God. For a small moment has I forsaken thee, but with great mercy will I gather thee. In a little wrath I hid my face from thee for a moment, but with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee, saith the Lord thy Redeemer. Nobody else. Nobody else but Israel. Nobody else. I mean, they can think that they got salvation all they want to. Don't mean nothing. He says he is the Redeemer of Israel. He says, for this is as the waters of Noah unto me. For as I have sworn that the water of Noah should no more go over the earth, so have I sworn that I would not be wroth with thee, nor rebuke thee. For the mountains shall depart, and the hills be removed, but my kindness shall not depart from thee, neither shall the covenant of my peace be removed, saith the Lord that hath mercy upon thee. Only Israel. Nobody else. Nobody else. But now, as we see here in the scriptures, Gentiles have never been called a people. Never. Never. Now let's keep on going. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 11. Now let's go here. But this is a passage that they fight over, but it's going to be explained here. A lot of me know my daughter, we're going to explain this. Now let's look at verses 9 and 10. We're probably going to read 11 too. It says, now it talks about, if you go back up in the upper verses, it talks about the wolf shall dwell with the lamb and all the animals that are wild. They, that kill one another. They're gonna lie down together, and stuff. This is future. And look what he says here in 9. He says, they shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, for the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the Lord, as the waters cover the sea. See that everybody gonna know. He said, and in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. Now here he talks about a root of Jesse shall stand for an ensign. He's talking about something like a banner, something like a flag. Like when you come into New York Harbor, there, you got the Statue of Liberty there. That stands for an ensign. To let you know that you are in America. You're welcome to America. She's out there in the water. But here he says that a root of Jesse shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek. Not that the Gentiles got anything coming. They gonna seek it. They gonna come and see what's going on. Not that they're gonna be saved. It never says anything about Gentiles being saved. Nothing. Not any time. And his rest shall be glorious. Who he talking about? The one that is going to stand for the ensign? His. Not Gentiles. Because it would have, It would have said that the Gentile rest shall be glorious. But the Gentile gonna seek. They're gonna be trying to seek and search out this great thing, this magnificent sight. You know, this ensign, this sign that's saying that God is the God of Israel. They're gonna be seeking for salvation, but they don't have anything coming. Nothing. Like I said, I prove what I say. Now let's go a little further. Let's jump on down and read verse let's read verse 11. It says, and it shall come to pass, in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people. End of story. Who are these people? Israel. Where are they? They're scattered all over these places right here. Now, if you go into modern and go back and search out all these names. Now we know where Assyria and Egypt is, you know, but you go back and get a map of the Middle East, and you see all of these new names that they have for them. And all these places is where God has dispersed, you know, his people. But they're all over the world. And God says he's going to gather them. Now look what he says here in the latter part of verse 11. He says, Hamat, and from the isles of the sea. He said, and he shall set up an ensign for all nations. This is 12. And shall establish the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. See that? He ain't saying anything about no Gentiles. Gentiles are not a part of Israel. They are not a part of any Noah's kids, Noah's grandkids, their great-grand. They have nothing to do with anything about Noah and his grandchildren. Now let's go a little further here. Let's look at another scripture here. Let's go and show you here. Let's go to the book of Malachi. See, because I believe that this is who he's talking about over there. Who's going to stand up, who's going to have that ensign to the rest of the world to show them that God is the God of the Hebrew Israelites, nobody else. Now, if we're looking at Malachi, the 4th chapter, let's look at verses 5 here. It says, behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. And he shall turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the hearts of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. I believe that over here, and that he's talking about Elijah, because we're supposed to wait for Elijah to come. But this is not talking about Jesus. No. And the Gentiles have no hope. Now let's go a little further here. There's another scripture I want to show you guys too over here in Chronicles. The Christian talking about Jesus, they got hope in Jesus and this and that. But all you guys that have been with us any time at all, I've showed you scriptures over scriptures after scriptures to show you about our King. He is our ruler forever. Now let's look at 1 Chronicles chapter 28. We're talking about King David here. Let's read verses 3 and 4. Now, David here is finna go off the scene here, but he's making a statement, you know, about his position over Israel. Now, look what he says now. Verse 3 says, but God said unto me, now this is David, thou shalt not build an house for my name, because thou hast been a man of war, and hast shed blood. Then David said, howbeit the Lord God of Israel chose me before all the house of my fathers. In other words, he's saying that God chose me over all my other brothers, over all of them. And look what he says to him. To be king over Israel for how long? Forever. To you Christians. See that? Now God had ample time to stop David and say, no, David, no, I'm not going to make you king of Israel forever. It's right in the pages. Right in the pages. Then it goes on here. He said, for he has chosen Judah to be ruler, and to the house of Judah, the house of my father, and among the sons of my father, he liked me to make me king over all of Israel. Right in the pages. My brothers and sisters, one cannot change the word of the Most High. God is not going to change his word. Now let's go here a little further. I'm going to show you something else here about these Gentiles. Let's go to Isaiah 42. Isaiah 42. Let's go there. Now watch this, my brothers and sisters. Isaiah 42. Now watch this right here. Because like I said, Gentiles are not a people. They're not. But the Gentiles are those people over there in the land that went over in 1947 to 48 over there, and they came from everywhere, saying that they were God's chosen people, but they did not carry God's chosen people name. They say they're Israelis, not Israelites. They call themselves Jews, but God calls his children the Hebrew Israelites. All right. Now let's look at this in 42. In 1 it says, behold my servant, whom I upheld, mine elect, in whom my soul delighteth. I have put my spirit upon him. He shall bring forth judgment to the Gentiles. Now my question is right here. Does anyone know what judgment is? Huh? See, my brothers and sisters, this book here, Isaiah, to the Hebrew Israelites. You read this book, it will tell you your past and your future. Isaiah have all the answers to everything that you want to think you want to talk about or you want to know. Read the book of Isaiah. Isaiah have all the answers to all your questions. They're right here. You don't need no other. You need to go out and try to. That's my thing. I don't understand why they go and look for all these other books. Everything here, Isaiah has it for you. You ain't got to go nowhere. Right here. Now look what he says here. It says here, behold, my servant, whom I upheld, mine elect, in whom my soul delighteth. I have put my spirit upon him. He shall bring forth judgment to the Gentiles. Now, judgment to me looks like it's condemnation. That's what it sounds like to me. When you bring judgment, you bring in condemnation on an individual. Now let's go a little further here. Let's jump down to 5. It says, thus saith the God, the Lord, he that created the heavens and stretched them out, he that span forth the earth, that which cometh out of it, he hath given breath unto the people upon it, and spirit to them that walk therein. I, the Lord, have called thee in righteousness. And that's verse 7. 6, okay. Let's read verse 6. It says, I, the Lord, have called thee in righteousness, and I will hold thine hand, and will keep thee, and give thee for a covenant of the people, for a light to the Gentiles. Huh? That they may see who's who. But not that they're going to be saved. Watch it right here, then. I mean, it's right here in the pages. He says here that it will be a light of the people for a light of the Gentiles. Huh? Not that they're going to be saved. But I read the scripture to you earlier. He said that judgment, when judgment comes, that's condemnation. Now,